In this first chapter, I'll explain the basic knowledge required to understand the electrical signals generated by neurons. And I will also explain the only two equations which we will use afterwards.
What are the objectives of this first chapter?
At the end of this chapter, you will be able to predict in which direction a given ion will cross the membrane at a given potential. This is extremely important because the movement of ions, which are charged molecules, creates an ion current. You will also find out what is a membrane potential, and you will be able to predict how ion currents change membrane potential.
What are the prerequisites for understanding this chapter?
You should already know about cells, cell membrane, lipids and proteins, and also about ions. It's even better if you are familiar with a few basic notions of physics, such as resistance, current, potential.
Using an example from everyday life, can you explain the difference in potential and current?
Undoubtedly, the simplest analogy is that between electrical current and water flow. Let's imagine a water tower. It's filled with potable water thanks to a pump that pumps water to the very top of the tower. Thereafter, this water can flow down under the action of gravity into every home connected to running water. The difference in height between the top of the water tower and the plumbing inside the houses enables water to flow on its own from the tower to the houses, and the water flows at a certain flow rate expressed in terms of volume per minute. This rate depends on the diameter of the pipes. The smaller the diameter, the lower the flow rate. In biology, we are not talking about water flow, but about the flow of ions, which are charged molecules. The difference in height becomes the difference in potential on either side of the membrane. Current intensity depends on the flow of ions, that is, the number of positive or negative charges per second, while resistance to the flow of water corresponds to the resistance to the passage of ions across the membrane. This analogy is not perfect, but at least it helps grasp basic concepts such as resistance, current, and potential.
What resources are made available for this first chapter?
There are course videos, quizzes, supplements to revisit certain key concepts, and a glossary to explain scientific terms.